Peter Newbold is the GM of PGG Rights and Real Estate, our monthly look at the state of the rural market. And Peter, record returns, especially for meat, dairy and horticulture. Is that translating to record prices for farmland? Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon, Jamie. Look, it's good selling and it's building and it's very positive and we're seeing all sectors benefit from it. So I think that's really important where we haven't seen that in the past. And I think if you look back, the last peak was sort of that 13, 14, but this has got, I think it's got a lot more stability to it and longevity. So that's really good. And sure, the returns are helping prices, but it's the same old story, isn't it? It's location driven. But yes, look, selling is strong and values are good.
We'll start with the biggest one, dairy, and work our way down. How's it going? Because there's been a lot of reluctance to enter into the dairy farm market for any number of reasons, the chief amongst them being the government.
Yeah, look, that market definitely is having its best season it's had for many. And I think the significant piece there is the traditional dairy areas. We're seeing a lot of sales, so that's a good indicator. And also we're seeing people investing in that, 10 million plus area and even some into the 20. And we haven't seen that for a long time. So to give you an example, last month we sold more properties over 10 million than we've sold for I can't remember how long. So, and also at the other end of the market, still they're moving. But it's like all things, when you go to spend that amount of money, there's only so many buyers that are in that position, but it's really good for dairy.
Sheep and beef, it's been consistently pretty good for the past few years. I'm talking about the property prices here.
Yeah, again, that just goes on. And I think out of all the sectors, that's where we have the most interest from purchasers. And I think the other interesting space in that one is we're getting, as I was mentioning to you, a lot of buyers that are coming from, let's say, the cities or wanting to invest into that sector. So it's really strong. Again, capacity is important, and we're seeing some big sales, in the plus 20. So really good marketplace.
Now that market is being underpinned, and some would say it's being driven by the carbon farmers.
Yes, there's a bit of that. I think there's just maybe a little bit of a slow off there, but yeah, they have been active in that space, and they have been paying a premium. But if I put them to one side, there's still strong interest in what I'd call normal sheep and beef farming.
Well, I'm glad that normal sheep and beef farming is still a thing, Peter. There you go. Horticulture. They're telephone numbers, aren't they, what they're paying for instance, kiwi fruit orchards in the Bay of Plenty?
Yeah, we've often said in the past it had gone a bit quiet after some pretty heady years. We're starting to see it ramping back up again. There's a lot of development taking place in those areas where people are investing, and we're seeing for the first time a number of properties come to the market. And the other interesting thing there is the quality orchards, and I think that's a good indicator of things moving forward positively. So a lot of activity, more listings coming to the market, but I think the key thing, if you look out, is a lot of development taking place, for example, in the Bay of Plenty.
Hey, are the lifestyle blocks still being inundated with Aucklanders wanting to get out?
Well, a lot of them can't get out yet, but I think when they do, we'll see, I think, a surge. We're still seeing, I guess one of the challenges, there's limited listings at the moment, but there's still demand and there's still strong prices being paid. So personally, I think we'll see a lift in volumes once we get through this sort of mid-December period. And then maybe you might see a bit of flattening. But, when you've got shortage of stock, then you know what happens then.
Peter, just to finish on with our property of the week, I was flicking through our Facebook page this morning, and there it was, Lake Station, iconic Tasman sheep and beef property near St Arnaud. That's on the way if you drive from the west coast through to Blenheim or Nelson. It's a great part of the world, that.
Yeah, I think it's one of those sort of unique properties that comes to the market, where a family's owned it for, I think from memory, 4 generations. And, in that part of the world, there's not many that, are 2,500 acres, or as we say, 1,000 hectares today, which is in such good condition and, quality infrastructure, good pasture, huge opportunities there, and just been, well run for a family for a number of generations. Great opportunity for someone to, purchase a wonderful farm.
What a great lifestyle option as well. So you can find that on our website, thecountry.co.nz. Click on Rural Properties, or you can see it, as I did earlier this morning, on our Facebook page. Peter Newbold, we'll catch you again next month, our final chat for 2021.
Yeah, thanks, Jamie, and have a good day.